Bienvenue à France. Well, let's get back to some more NC-17 film, Blonde. It's now available on Netflix as we speak, and it's been getting a lot of controversy. I finally had the opportunity to see it at the hotel I was staying at, and oh, I know what you're thinking. Oh, what's this most evil thing? You shouldn't watch it pornographic. Actually, it's not. It's actually, I've seen better films as far as that rating is concerned than that one particularly. So you've seen Killer Joe, A Man Bites Dog, or C'est avec with des Cheveux from Belgium. Yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about. Even Zack and Miri, which they re-rated into an R ultimately, and Midnight Cowboy, Fritz the Cat, and L'Homme de Legend with Jungle Burger are more interesting films than Blonde that use that rating to its advantage. The only reason why I saw the film with Ana de Armas was because of the rating itself. I think the only good thing I can say about it is that she gives one of her finest performances, and one can find some sort of weird, darkly comedic amusement about that scene where she's with John F. Kennedy. He's doing the whole thing there, and he's all moaning while he's watching a bunch of rockets. I wasn't entirely sure what to make of that. It didn't seem to me like they're showing the horror and trauma of it all after the fact, but it almost played up some sort of twisted, dark comedy just within that moment. Particularly in that scene, it was a bit more evident to me than even on Killer Joe, where some people said they found laughter at that scene with him on the chicken drumstick, or watching a man splash his face with pumpkin soup. I honestly can't believe it myself. And I'm sure you can't believe it too, because as far as graphic material is concerned, I think other films that NC-17 and even R-rated have used that rating to its advantage. There was a film earlier this year called X, which had Mia Goth and Britney Snow and Kid Cudi. That was certainly a lot more shocking to me than this one. Even though it doesn't have that sort of flair to it, it is sort of an independent horror film that mixes pornography and sort of slasher killer stuff that you would see like in Friday the 13th, which they have had trouble with the censors, that particular movie, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequels. If we're talking about from a US perspective, many of those films were flagged with an X rating, but they trimmed a few things up just to get it appeasing for cinemas to show. Because most cinemas will not show NC-17 films, is that they'll show rated R films. And that's part of the problem there. The equivalent in France would probably be the situation where people complained about the movie Sausage Party, Le Vie des Éléments, which they said it shouldn't be interdit en moins de 12 ans, it should be 16 ans, parce que le contenu sexuel, l'homosexuel degré est plus vulgaire, comme ci, comme ça, quelque chose. And Gaspar Noé's Love, which was given interdiction en moins de 18 ans, which is even more restrictive than the 16 ans or the 12 ans restrictions that they usually tend to give for films with graphic violence or very adult material. So that's what happened. And he tried to battle it over, but he had to just stick with the rating as was. And then I think there was a documentary that was called Salafiste that was about I can't say it out loud, Islamic extremism. That was given a 18 ans interdiction, and that was very controversial. So you live and you learn, I suppose. But I think they probably gave it the NC-17 mainly because of that scene involving John F. Kennedy. I can't say it out too loud, but maybe I can, because most people don't speak English in this country. Yeah, you get the idea. My mouth gestures just kind of tell you everything. And then choking his bird. The thing is, you don't see explicit details of it. In fact, it's almost sort of off screen. There isn't really any nudity as well. X, on the other hand, did have that sort of thing, as well as other sort of R-rated films that had much more shocking material, like teeth and piercing, Crimes of the Future. It runs the gamut. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, that was very shocking. That was definitely not a film for families. I think they should just abolish the NC-17. Anyways, it's shit. It's serving no purpose whatsoever. And the only thing I can think of that it serves is to appease right-wing American. The Trump vote. You know what I'm talking about. Don't say you didn't, because if you do, you'll be deported. And I'll be deported by Marine Le Pen's government once she gets into power, because people like Giorgia Meloni and Viktor Orban don't want to rule Europe for themselves. Well, fuck that. I think I've said my piece. I've got to go on the bus. Until next time, this is Skinny E Media signing off. I'm doing a special review. Lately, I'm going to go see later on The Woman King. See how people get a reaction to that, throw tomatoes or bring their pistol and start shooting at the screen because it promotes leftist ideas, which I think, fuck you. Pas de foot.